brand new world, brand new purple light, friends, brand new purple light, friends, facts, brand new purple light, friends, red and blue, purple light, friends, facts. You can get to know the ledger, sacrilegious, Sunday to Melanin Monday. You can get to know the ledger, my love. Just open your third eye on Thursday. Lord, the food, the art, the clothes, the Vatican's getting exposed fast. We put the show on the road. You better stay on your toes. I was till the land focused on the ego. Then I open my heart, let go of the ego. Grand after grand, we stacking up these C notes. Facts, facts, yeah. We gon' put this shit on our backs. Facts, facts. We in your city, pull up where we at. Facts, facts. Peace, love and light. Peace, love to the family. Peace, love and light to the family. Peace, love and light to the family.
These days and time, black man, is going to be the time that you have been waiting for. You came here for a reason. Whatever pressure, whatever adversity, whatever the fuck you feel, I don't know what you feel, but whatever you may be feeling is going to push you, and it's going to provoke you, and it's either going to make you or break you, similar to how pressure busts pipes or the shit makes diamonds.
That's right. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Peace, peace to you and yours. Peace to you and yours. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of Melanin Mondays. You are now rocking with the best. Yes, this is your host for the evening, Brother Red Pillar. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know how we sounding on the audio and whatnot. Let me know. Let me know. Yes, indeed. Loud and clear. All right. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's how we like it. Okay. First and foremost, for my Patreons in the building, shout out to my Patreons. Shout out to everybody in the building. We have a special class that's lined up for later on. I'm going to have to postpone that until Wednesday. Okay. And as we get into the show tonight, you'll know why. All right. But that is going to be postponed until Wednesday night, I believe at 8:00, which is in a few days. So we're going to be able to do it there. Tonight, we're going to just breeze through some of the information and some of the things that are, out here right now, some of the stories that are in front of us. All right. But we do have a powerful presentation put together for y'all. So, Wednesday we'll be able to deliver that. But yesterday in Atlanta, in a place called Conyers, there was an explosion there was a fire at a biolab, and this biolab happens to be not that far from me, So the sky has been crazy, I don't want to make it sound crazy and whatnot, but yeah, there's been some things going on in these Atlanta streets. So let's do the roll call. Let's see who's in the building. Tonight, what I want to do, especially because there's a lot of things going on in places like Asheville, there's a lot of floods and whatnot. So I'm hoping that we got some people in the building that's in the audience who could give us some firsthand accounts about what the hell is going on with these storms and whatnot and what they call the biblical storm, Helena or Helen, right? Right? A biblical storm. That's what they said. It came after an eclipse, and it sounds familiar. It's giving 2017 Harvey. You know, um, yes. So, all right, let's do the roll call, and definitely rise in power to the legends. We got Matumbo and Pete Rose. Hartford is in the building. Atlanta is forming. I hear you, Q Reeves. I'll send you a link. Pull up because we need to talk about it. I seen your post earlier, and that was lit. San Francisco's in the building. We have Columbus, Ohio in the building. All right. Um, yes, indeed. San Jose, we got Tampa, we got Seminole in the building. DMV is in the building. Colorado, Mile High City is in the building. You dig? Sunset Boulevard. We got Nebo, North Carolina. We have T Dot in the building. We have Virginia in the building. Phoenix is in the building. You dig? Y'all got floods and slight heavy winds going on in the UK currently. Let's get a weather check where everybody is at that's giving us these roll calls. Y'all are all separate, y'all are all spread amongst the grid and whatnot. Let's do a weather check. If it's flooding, if it's raining heavy, if it's, whatever it is, let us know in the comments so we don't have to wait for the weatherman to tell us what's going on, because they don't put one and two together. you know Southeast Georgia in the building by way of the DMV. Okay, we got Charlotte in the building. Is that chemistry explosion near you? Yes, my nigga, yes. Charlotte in the building. Inglewood in the building. OKC in the building. Toronto in the building. Virgin Islands in the building. All right. We have Rome in the building. Ireland in the building. 6 million people with no cell service in the building. Southwest Philly in its peace. Shout out to Southwest. We got Camden in the building. We got Chirac in the building. Or rather, Chicago. I don't want to disrespect your city. Okay, Newbie. We have Vegas in the building. Q, let me know if you want to pull up. Let me know if you want to pull up so we could build. I definitely have the floor ready for you. All right, you in Memphis and it's clear skies, and Philly said that they good. All right, Houston, it was hot and it was humid. The dragonfly, yo, I don't know. The other day, it was some moth life creatures that just popped up out of nowhere. It was all in my yard and whatnot, and they was traveling in bunches. Mississippi, I don't know if that has something to do with the storm that was coming or the storm that came. Los Angeles, but currently in St. Louis. I see you. Okay, so we got weather good. All right. Miami is good, no rain. Okay. Hollywood in the building. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Bay Area in the building. Raleigh up in this thing. It's cloudy up in there. All right. Cleveland, Ohio. Okay. Storms predicted to last. Well, my experience, chlorine was the chemical. Yes, chlorine is the chemical that was in the biolab. And we do know that chlorine forms toxic gases. Chlorine is also, it could damage, it damages the ecosystem. There's chlorine radicals and whatnot. So that's not something that you take lightly. Storms are predicted to last from, because when I came back from New York to Atlanta, it was pretty much kind of just cloudy for the last few days leading up to, when Hurricane Helen's supposed to have came through. Silicon Valley, hot mid 90s to 100. Okay. Duval. Right. St. Pete Beach got hit hard with no power. Okay. Louisville. Could we still sign up for the Patreon? Yes, yes. The Patreon is in the description, and I will drop it also in the chat. If you could do that for me, King Simon, that'd be a uh great assist. But yes, you could sign up to the Patreon, and everybody on the Patreon, all of my Patreons, we will have a class on Wednesday. It's gonna be lit. Yeah, we'll breeze through some of the slides today, of course, respectfully. And on Wednesday, we'll be delivering the whole enchilada. You dig? It's gonna probably be about 4 hours or something, you know. Gotta we you know how we do. Okay, so it's good that everybody, the majority of the people who answered, they wasn't saying, yo, it's flooding. It's good, you know, it's majority clear skies and hot weather. So that's a good thing. We're knocking on October. What happened to the month? But that's a whole nother story. Cloudy tonight up in Massachusetts. Yeah, it's always cloudy. You know, rainy in Richmond, rainy in Virginia. Okay, okay. Chlorine is a carcinogenic. Feel me? Yeah, so let's get right into it. I have a presentation. Let me jump on that. Pull that up. I won't be able to share the audio because, like I said, YouTube be wilding these days. They clipping you for anything and calling it a copyright. So I can't, you know what I mean? The audio will not be able to play on the YouTube henceforth while we're doing something on Zoom for the Patreon on Zoom. So we will be able to play the video. We'll be able to do other things. Oh man. This right here is North Carolina. Okay, currently. Well, not currently. This was over the strong end. North Carolina and whatnot. Hold on.
Chimney Rock, North Carolina. Look at the devastation, and you don't even wait till the sky zooms in. You'll see how widespread this actually is. How big.
Hold on a minute. Can y'all see the video? Let me see something. I might have this as an overlay. There it goes. My bad. Let me know if you can hear it too. Let me know.
Chimney Rock, North Carolina. Look at the devastation, and you don't even wait till the sky zooms in. You'll see how widespread this actually is. How big of a, he's on like a fisheye lens right now. He's zoomed out. He's about to zoom in. One of the most horrible things about this, not to mention how many people survived, I don't know. We don't have a toll yet for those who didn't make it. Rest their souls. Look at, that's a boat. So then when he zooms out, look how big this area of trash and debris really is. And you know what happens when there's a flood and everyone's fridges and freezers, the Freon that gets leaked, total toxic nightmare. We need to help these people as best we can. What can we do? I mean, FEMA should be there. I think they are. Apparently there's a deck or a roof of a house. I don't know. Holy crap. So this is Little Rock on the map. And from what I just read, the strike that's happening on major ports, it's 14 major ports around the east and Gulf coasts, halting container traffic from Maine to Texas. This is a huge situation. President Joe Biden has the power to suspend the strike for 80 days to further negotiations, but the White House has said he is not planning to act. What happens when shipping ports from Maine to Texas shut down? What effect does that have on the economy? And now a bunch of roads are destroyed as well. this massive hurricane. This seems like a perfect storm, but not in a good way. Comment below your...
Y'all saying that the video ain't moving and whatnot?
This video was taken in Asheville, North Carolina 3 days ago, before the flooding, and you have 4 or 5 black bears 40 feet up a tree. This is looking biblical. They knew something big was coming, and then of course we had massive widespread flooding. Look at this. This guy was filming in East Tennessee, and a flash flood or a mudslide. Holy crap, he's lucky to be alive. His car gets washed down the street, and houses go along with it. Here's a Tennessee Highway Patrol video from a helicopter of a bunch of farms that are pretty much completely destroyed at this point. I don't know. It's going to take a while to be able to start growing crops there again. This is very unfortunate. Now, this flooding from this hurricane blew so far.
No, this is a video. Let me fix that. The thing's supposed to be playing. Let me see something. Give me 1 minute. I may be able to do something.
Asheville, North Carolina 3.
Here we go.
Perfect storm, but not in a good way. Comment below your firsthand experience. Asheville, North Carolina 3 days ago, before the flooding, and you have 4 or 5 black bears 40 feet up a tree. This is looking biblical. They knew something big was coming, and then of course we had massive widespread flooding. Look at this. This guy was filming in East Tennessee, and a flash flood or a mudslide. Holy crap, he's lucky to be alive. His car gets washed down the street, and houses go along with it. Here's a Tennessee Highway Patrol video from a helicopter of a bunch of farms that are pretty much completely destroyed at this point. I don't know. It's going to take a while to be able to start growing crops there again. This is very unfortunate. Now, this flooding from this hurricane blew so far inland. It's insane. It's never before seen. I don't know if flooding like this has been seen in the United States since the founding of the nation, really.
What I would like to know from brothers and sisters in the audience who know about these areas more than I do, can you please let me know if these are melanated areas where our people live on, or is this land that Europeans are settled on? And when I say settled, I usually mean that sometimes that's, Indian land, sacred land. So if anybody knows about these lands that have been, chosen, that have been flooded and washed away and things of that nature, let me know the makeup of these areas, please. Let us continue.
Since gaining independence, I don't know, but I know that Appalachia is known to be so resilient and hardworking and self-reliant. Crazy that this hurricane would hit it so hard.
Hurricane Ellen. Hold on. I heard some of the places in North Carolina was what? Sundown time.
To this day. To this day.
Who would have known? Or who would have guessed? Who would have guessed? Let's keep going.
Many people are cut off because roads are impassable. They don't have power or communications. Because it's so difficult to get trucks in by land, yesterday we began airlifting supplies, including food and water, into the region. A number of mass feeding sites have been opened.
We're not leaving until the job is done. I also want you to know, I'm committed to traveling to the impacted areas as soon as possible, but I've been told that it would be disruptive if I did it right now.
They have gym shows up there. Ross Ben speaks very favorably about Asheville. So everybody that's in Asheville, salute. And there's some conscious people out there. So, everybody in Asheville, we send our energy to the Asheville and other people who have, suffered. But we talking about hurricanes, solar eclipses, and divine judgment. Okay. Divine judgment. In the course of one short week, this is 2017, this article. In the course of one short week, America witnessed an extremely unique solar eclipse and then watched the state of Texas get hit with a catastrophic hurricane. Is God trying to get our attention, or is it foolish and even dangerous to speculate like this? Oh, no, the Gators was not just in Florida. They had Gators washing up, I think, in North Carolina. Yeah, Jason is Jason. This Jason is out here Jasoning in. When the path of the next solar eclipse, which is expected in 2024, is charted on a map, it intersects with this year's eclipse in the form of a giant X over the nation. This is also quite striking. Always remember that. Let's not forget the fact that this cross has been formed over this nation. Okay, these solar eclipses, they mark an ending of a cycle. Okay, and we're in the midst of it. We're in the throes of it. Could it be that God was speaking to us through this eclipse? Surely, if this took place in biblical times, it would have been taken as a divine sign. Should we take it as one today? Perhaps, but we need to thread carefully here, since it's just as wrong to speak for God when he's not speaking as it is to miss his voice when he does speak. When it comes to the eclipse, those who witnessed it around the country had a sense of awe and wonder, not a sense of dread and fear. And for the most part, those who believe that God created the universe sensed the majesty of the creator in the eclipse more than a sign of impending judgment. I'm not saying that the solar eclipse was not a divine warning sign. I'm simply saying that we need a lot more evidence accompanied with a clear prophetic warning before we can make solemn pronouncement. When it comes to hurricanes, we need to be even more careful before making divine pronouncements, as tempting as it can be to do so. For example, it was striking that Hurricane Katrina wiped out the Southern decadence, gay pride events in New Orleans, a gay pride event worthy of its name. Many Christians felt that it was clearly an act of divine judgment. And there were some who claimed that Katrina was a judgment on America for pressuring Israel to get out of Gaza, resulting in a forced and painful resettling of thousands of Jews. Similarly, Katrina displaced thousands of Americans who now became refugees in other states. Okay, let's continue with this article, who obviously was written by. All right, so boom. Exactly 66 years ago, another hurricane, Helene or Helen, rock the Carolinas. Okay. So remember, we're talking about cycles. We're talking about the fact that they're moving. This thing is in cycles. It's not going straight. It's centrifugal. All right. Um, we've had this. We were here already. The same way when it was time for the COVID or you had the Spanish flu. There was literally about 100 years before that. It was almost identical. Okay. So they've had plenty of Helens. What is it about Helen or Helena that they always have to name these hurricanes after her? Okay. So we had category 4s. We had some tropical storms named Helen. We had some category 3s. We had some category 2s. Okay. Right. Russell Simmons just got hit with a lawsuit. It's about time. That's the next domino. We'll talk about that in a minute. And 3 more hurricanes are churning in the ocean right now, headed this way. Right? It just started. Okay, that season that is. All right. So when I hear the name Helene or Helen, I can't think of automatically Helena Blavatsky comes to mind, because I understand how these people work and I understand how they speak to one another and I know what they're into, right? So, spiritualism, science, and the mysterious Madame Blavatsky, okay? Madame Helena Blavatsky was the 19th century's most famous and notorious occultist. She was also the godmother of the New Age movement, right? So a lot of people are into the New Age movement these days. They're calling it consciousness and some other words that they may give it. But a lot of that was ushered in through the works of Blavatsky. Okay. She's Russian. Okay. She's the founder of the Theosophical Society. All right. She was accused of many things, hated by a lot of people. She had drama with Pascal Beverly Randolph, all right, who was a brother who dealt with sex magic amongst many other things. Okay. Um so to have to have Hurricane Helena or Hurricane Helene during the time of these quote unquote solar eclipses and whatnot is very interesting, especially knowing how these people do their rituals and play their games. And we're in this quote unquote Jason months, in the middle of the Jason months, damn near. And yeah, let's read this. Let's read about these eclipses. Eclipses are harbingers of change. They usher in evolution. The good thing about eclipses is that generally you can trust the directions they are guiding you in. Eclipses may help to bring about events in your life that are part of the cosmic plan, but it is not the eclipse that makes something happen in your life. It is that you have the ability to see things more clearly than you have before. These are important times for reflection upon your life, what you need to let go of and move on from. Okay. Eclipses are rare because they can only take place when the sun, the earth, and the moon are all aligned. They always happen in groups of 2 or 3. Total solar eclipses are called ring of fire because the light of the sun still radiates beyond a total eclipse. And total lunar eclipses are sometimes called blood moons because of the reddish orange glow the moon takes on during the eclipse. These are 4 to 7 eclipses every calendar year. There are 4 to 7 eclipses every calendar year. Typically, there are 2 eclipse seasons, one after the start of the year and one towards the completion of the year. Year 2024 has 4 eclipses. 2 solar and 2 lunar eclipses. Okay. Q said Venus versus Saturn. You want me to send you a link, Q, so you could pull up? Yep, the Battle of Two Witches. Solar eclipse, another one this Wednesday. That's why we're getting everybody ready today. And that's why we're moving the lecture to Wednesday so we could cook on the solar eclipse and do this. I could do magic. I could do magic, right? What better way? So yeah, let's get properly prepared and let's do it. All right. I dropped the link. This is only for Q Reeves and Q Reeves only. Thank you. All right. So on March the 25th, 2024, we had our first lunar eclipse. On April the 8th, 2024, we had our total solar eclipse. On September the 18th, right? Remember, this is the front, and now the October the 2nd one is the back. So everything that has occurred within that timeline. September 18th, partial lunar eclipse. Okay, they started cooking after that, right? And now we're coming up to October the 2nd, the annual solar eclipse, the annular solar eclipse. You may look back at the ending of 2023, take note of the end of October through the New Year's cycle, and try to realize themes or patterns that arose during that time. Can you see the arc of their progression through this year to the beginning of April?
Consciousness with the brother.
It's so difficult to get trucks in by land. Yesterday, we began airlifting supplies, including food and water.
Far inland.
It's so difficult to get.
All right. So yeah, it's definitely time to get ourselves properly prepared, okay, for what's coming up on Wednesday with this eclipse. All right. The upcoming lunar eclipse will be a partial lunar eclipse on the full moon of September the 17th and to the 18th. Lunar eclipses are viewed in astrology as being deeply transformative times that could bring abrupt and sudden emotional change. Have you noticed or bear witness to the sudden emotional changes, the abruptness in certain people in this few couple of days? While this is true, there is another side to eclipses that is important to remember. Eclipses are like the cosmic helping hand of the universe. Their energies help to break patterns and bring unresolved emotional issues to the surface. On a lunar eclipse, the shadow of the earth falls across the face of the moon. This is when unconscious feelings may rise into awareness, and we may see things more clearly than we had been able to before. Then we have the chance to understand our participation and behaviors that contribute to the unwanted patterns we are experiencing in our lives. Okay. So it sounds like this was the time to get things right, start cleaning things up, start start getting things in motion. And hopefully this is where you're at right now, and prepare yourself to close out, like a champion with a bang on the 2nd. Okay. So without any further ado, family, we have our esteemed guest in the building. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gods and goddesses, Moors and Mobites, we present to you Q Reeves in the building. Bria.
We in this thing.
What's good with you, my brother?
Man, living my best life, listening to the wisdom as always.
That's what's up. Honors. Honors. I heard that you were cooking earlier. They said you had a live and you was in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to share some you want to share some of that with the fam?
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
Yes, sir.
So basically, I did a live, and it's crazy because you use the term the perfect storm, because this is basically what I categorized it. It is the infusion of 3 different separate events that are actually factoring into how we conclude 2024. From port strikes to chemical fires to hurricane threats, all 3 of these separately are causing its own issues, but together it literally is interfering in the elections. It's literally interfering into the holidays. It's literally interfering into people's mental states. All these things are kind of factoring into these separate events hitting us at the same time. I mean, we ain't even been in fall that long. It's been like 2 weeks, maybe 2 weeks since we fall. And since we fell,
since the fall, right? Since the fall.
So basically, without having to regurgitate a whole bunch, I emphasize how right now we really need to like stockpile, and I mean stockpile, essentially gather up key things that we know could be hard to get because of shipping issues, port issues.
Right.
Of course, we know like toilet tissue, paper towels, soap, rice, water, dried vegetables, frozen vegetables, medical supplies, prescriptions, batteries, fruit, candles, laundry, prescriptions. These are the things we want to be able to get, but also start to create like a weekly log of what we have. Really start to manage our supplies. Like this is like a job now. This isn't just to be on like chill mode. No, this is the universe screaming at us. It's activation time. It's go time. And a part of that is prioritizing your mental state, your water, your food, all
everything, everything. Right.
So emphasizing the importance of logging what you have or what you may need, and also figuring out other local sources, whether those are farmers markets, whether those are local chains that don't rely on like imports, just really figuring out other options within the community y'all can connect to. I've been big on that here in Memphis, really getting local, really getting community based. I may have 10 packs of toothpaste that I done saved up since the vid, and you may have, let's say, like 20 gallons of water, and I may be able to, I'll give you one of my gallons.
Right.
This is important. And if we too scared of each other, if we too scared of integrating these gods and goddesses, of connecting back to ourselves, then we already losing who we really are, which is community, which is village, which is tribe. So this is a part of going back to those concepts. We are tribe. Together we can get through anything. Together there is nothing that can oppose us. But separated, this is how we got here.
Right. When they separate us, when they are able to take one finger out of the fist, then that's when they begin to take, they begin to take us apart. We felt the power of the collective in the month of August when we gathered in Stonecrest at the Gathering of the Masters. That was a very good dry run. It was a reminder of the power of the collective, this collectively on a certain frequency. I have to reiterate that, because just us coming together is not enough. Just having groups of us together, that's not it. That's not what I'm speaking about. I'm speaking about a people who come together with an intention. They knew, they came there with the word master in their mind and gathering. So they knew we just not coming here to hang out and to be in our lower selves. They came in their higher selves. People came regally.
Yeah.
We could do anything. I applaud the universe for creating any type of circumstance that will have to put us in that situation. I won't curse the universe. I won't curse the circumstances. Um, I won't throw my hands up. You know what I'm saying? I see people around the world right now going through high levels of suffrage. You feel me? Suffrage for what they stand for, and just what what's on. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's real in the field.
Yeah,
So if
this is the separation of two worlds. You're literally seeing some being drowned by their
right,
waters, while some of us have figured out how to swim, or some of us figured out how to float. Family, it
right,
isn't even a matter of knowing how to strategically survive these waters. Sometimes letting go and letting the universe show you it got you, letting the world, the nature, the tribe, I mean, any of things. We were just so adamant about like being the strongest, being the most aggressive. But society has encouraged these behaviors to be
right,
first place. So we're always trying to be first place, not realizing that as long as we have a place, we're in a group, we're in a system. It's not even a matter of levels, first, second, third. If you have a place, I often say it's like an anchor to time. A place is no different than having an anchor to time. And if you have an anchor to time, you don't get lost. And this is what so many people are going through right now. They lost. They know a lot of information. They have tons of information. But they're lost to it. They're lost to it.
Right. It's like the movie Inception with the totem piece that Leonardo had that kept him, and he kept him grounded into a certain reality. Now, what I've noticed is that people take these trips into different realities and whatnot based on their studies or based on their school of thought, and they don't come back. They stay there, so they're broadcasting to you from that place, and you're not there. You're like, fam, I don't see what you see, but respectfully, I feel you. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I'm not where you at right now. Yeah, like I ain't where you at right now. You somewhere else, bro. You on another planet. You Pluto. I'm not there though. You know what I mean? So people are out here really going to the edge. I'm in Atlanta. So you said you in Tennessee, right?
Yeah, Memphis.
Oh yeah, they on moonshine. They go to the ledge out there too. They get yeah. They get defocalized
Yes.
to the highest degree. You feel me? And I've been privy to just observe that shit, and it's crazy.
They succumb to their carnal self. They're see, the whole concept is to tame one's beast, not to let the beast overcome you.
Overcome you. Right.
Make an intellectual Hulk, smart Hulk. You're supposed to be Beast from X-Men. You're supposed to add intelligence to this carnal or animal aspect. This animus is the word we use for it. This animus, because there's different expressions of the soul. So one of the expressions of the soul is the animus, is the animal nature. And there's so much feeding that. Like they're feed that part of the soul more than anything else.
Yes. Anything else.
Dangerous. It's dangerous because we lose our core principles of the mammal, which is a womb base, meaning that we are nurtured in our genesis, unlike the eggs, unlike the egg beings, the reptiles or whatever word. These are entities that don't understand love at their genesis. We do.
Right.
And even if it's aggressive, even if it's not what we want love to be, we still have something or someone to identify love as. Compared to them, they start at the very beginning, often alone. And that makes survival. It brings in that survival, and that's what they want.
Lack of compassion, right?
Yeah, they want a whole mammalian species to feel like they alone. How?
Right. It's nothing but abundance around you. You're never alone, if you don't want to be.
And they want you to become angry black female, angry. They want you to become angry because in anger, you feel like everyone betrayed you and you're
You're willing to give up. You're easier to succumb. You know what I mean? You're easier to trick and whatnot because you're on your own. Now, when you remove yourself from the collective and you take the individual stance where you're pro, you know, you separated yourself from the ilk or the cloth, then you fair game for those who are out there in the field. You know what I'm saying? The vultures that will definitely come and start taking you apart.
Yes, yes. I often explain, I kind of give this idea that at the beginning of this universe, it was all darkness. And then they say a bang or a light appeared. But I don't think people conceptualize what this light is. I need us to conceptualize that this light represents transparency. And those within the darkness saw this light and was scared of it. What do you mean I got to be honest? What do you mean I got to give all my secrets out? I can't manipulate things the way that we used to do in darkness, in shadow. Nah, I don't know if I could deal with that light of transparency. So I often say the gods of that realm, the gods of the darkness came together and consumed that light. They ate it so that they can house, so that they can control, so they can contain transparency. But what's crazy is they thought they can contain something that they don't understand. And you can't contain something you don't understand. So eventually transparency went beyond them and we picked it up. We said, we could do something with this thing called transparency. And it's because we are activating in the light of transparency, because we're using what some would consider a higher vibrational of physical existence. Transparency, no secret shit get done. Gets hard in the beginning.
Right.
I get it. But once you work all those kinks and those issues out, we literally could have a universe, a society of people that represent pure transparency. Trans is the beginning word. We get in motion, family.
Right.
Yeah, it's a beautiful time, but
it definitely is.
A part of this we have to know what the diddler is about. We have to know that there are. Do you know that this chemical plant is the third time they had this issue? This is the third time.
This is the third. Yes. This is not an isolated incident. This is the third time. So this plant going off, separate. Yeah, it reeks of. It's red flags. It's a lot of red flags.
But there's a transparency to it because we now are observing the flaws, the issues of the institution. This is the industrial institution. So we are watching the industry fall.
Yes.
And it's simply based on we're in the age of transparency. And we have to know you failures.
Right.
You can't hide failure. This is an age where we are seeing you either floating or swimming or you're sinking. And if you're sinking, something could come along and say, I'll save you. But then while it saves you, it could actually hypnotize you, take over you, possess you. So what comes back up to the surface ain't even you. We see it all the time.
Yep.
I'm from New Haven, Connecticut. I've seen the skull and bone ritual myself, how they put the individual in the casket. They do a cantation. When they come out, they're different.
Right. Oh, no, Daddy Gregor takes over.
Yep.
That entity that becomes a walk-in. And there's a possession similar to when somebody gets mounted, right? Similar to when somebody gets possessed. You know what I mean? I've seen it in even parties and whatnot. When they start crip walking and blood walking, I've seen possession. I've seen possession in 3-6 Mafia. I've seen possession in Crunchy Black in them. I've seen possession when they say tear the club up and head in the ball. Those was possessions. Them people were in some type of trance.
Yes. And I also consider that what we call an incubus or a succubus.
Right.
These are what they usually get possessed by. These sexual demons or these sexual entities that have lived a more carnal existence in a previous life. You can call these freaking ancestors that are just in their lower realm, and you getting possessed by your ancestors that like to fight, flight, fornicate, and freeze.
Right. They have those carnal desires. There's nothing wrong. It's what everybody comes prepackaged with. The 4 F's. You know, it's primal. At the end of the day, man's number one self-preservation mode is to fornicate, to spread the seed and to multiply. And then of course is to feed oneself. You know what I mean? You got to feed the first brain, and you have to put something in your stomach.
Mm.
You know, fight, flight, fornicate, or freeze. So
To
yeah,
control one's reptilian self.
right, right.
See, it don't die out. It just kind of goes in hiding until it's time to pop out again.
Pop out again.
Pop out and show niggas.
Right. Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas. I mean, it's right there in the brain. So if one were to be like, I don't got no reptilian brain, you know.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I've had that conversation with some of them like love and light individuals, and like no offense, I'm not trying to trigger no one, but like I've had people in my face be on some like, no, I could never get thrown off. I'm love and light and balance, and I'll like whap the fuck out them, you know,
Right.
just to see how they respond. And they carnal kick right back up. And I explained to them, I'm showing you, you could be mad, I'll fight you, but I'm really just showing you that you not what you think you are. And I want you to not be confused on yourself.
Right.
You think that you this higher vibrational being, but when someone brings you back on your level, how do you react or respond to it? You ready to get your ass whooped? That's how.
Right. You knuck if you buck. So yeah, I run from shit like that. I already know it's a performance. It's performative, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, Tubi is hiring. You know, just take that shit to the networks and get paid. You know what I mean? Don't be a character around me, and you not get. I'm not cutting no checks for that. You know what I'm saying? You should put that on Tubi.
Wow,
it's a lot of characters out here missing their calling.
I like
Dead ass missing their
like
calling. Y'all letting Country Wayne and them run up the bag, and all of these other all of these other characters. Whereas, you know, there are some very sharp characters in our networks who waste a lot of energy and time being going against themselves.
Yep. And you see it all day. Even your spiritual leaders and spiritual people on all these platforms and stuff like that, they're going through their things too, family. Keep that in mind. Ain't no one man got it. Ain't no one woman got it.
But
ain't
let me
no
say
one
something.
person ever supposed to have it. It's a team thing. It's a us thing.
Let me share something with you that people have been, I guess, programmed to not just recognize, but to anticipate this thing they call the struggle, or this thing that they call trials and tribulations, or this thing that they call obstacles, or this thing that they call bumps in the road. Actually, those things are the tests that get you to certain levels and whatnot in your journey. I've never spoke to somebody who went on a journey and came back and said it was smooth sailing.
That's facts.
You know,
that's facts.
The pain you endure on the journey, the resistance that you face, you know what I mean? The adversity that you have to smile in the face of, all of that is your test. All of that is that's you in the gym.
That's facts.
You know?
That just reminded me of, like, you know, you're on a car trip and say you're on one of them long stretch of roads that's flat, you drive 3 hours, you start falling asleep, you start getting drowsy, but let you hit a bump. Let you hit something that shakes you up a little bit.
Right.
It resets
right
you.
back out. Right.
Now you dial right back in. You boom,
dial
boom,
in.
boom.
Yeah.
We have to look at it like that. Our bumps is not depression, is not restriction, it's activation. These are all gene activation tools. And if you perceive it that way, the universe will look at you as a co, not an op. Oh, you're co-creating with me. You're not opposing me, because there is no opposition in the universe. It's growth. It's the dualistic nature, like a tree. A tree has the ability to reach towards the light and towards the darkness. It's reaching towards the sun and gravity.
Right.
It is a dualistic
Omega.
entity. You know what I'm saying? One body,
one body,
one vessel. And
it's
that's
in the
what
underworld and
that's
it's in the
us.
heights.
Yes,
Yep.
yes.
Because our light body extends into the ethers, you know, and we connected to the middle earth. Look, I was in New York just the other day, and I observed what I know within my heart. Like I know, I don't believe I know that New York, which is now Gotham City, has so much pressure and so much quote unquote weight on it that people are literally turning into their supercells. It's turning on people's supercells. Then I saw a video where a brother got the police was firing on him in a train station, right? First they hit him with the taser and he basically ate that and took that off. Then they start clapping at him, wind up shooting three innocent people, but he was standing there and he was just eating that shit, bro. People in New York, because of the way that this city flipped and turned into something very much, you know, it you know, it got darker, right? It got darker, but in its darkness, right? Because once again, things grow in the darkness. You know, the rent is too high. The pressure of being in New York, right? The pressure, right? The same way that pressure bust pipes, but it also make diamonds and whatnot. So it's activating certain people. People are on the edge. They're on, you know, but once you go to the edge and once you hit to rock bottom, there's an opportunity to basically tap into some shit that you've never been able to tap into before. And I just felt it as I walked through that city. I'm like, yo, niggas is definitely on some mutant shit. In the next 2 or 3 years, we're gonna see some supercell type activities for real. And it ain't gonna be CGI, you know.
Yeah, Atlanta, Chicago, New York.
Right.
Chicago,
the same way
it's Superman area, Metropolis or whatever. That was Chicago.
That was Chicago. Right. Even so in the darkest, in the most, you know, in the middle of O block, you feel me, on one of those op blocks and whatnot, and then on Skid Row in Los Angeles, where people would they would turn their nose up and they would shun certain, but it's a lot of shit going on, and people are not. There's people who are tapping in to the same information that you're tapping into, and they're in different environments than you are in, which would be like your cubicle or your safe space in your house. There's people really off grid, really on some, you feel me? Like, and they're off grid by choice.
Mm-hmm.
They're in the streets by choice. They're in tent cities by choice. You feel me? They got resources. They got an army. You know what I mean?
Like John Wick.
John Wick, right? They decide what they're gonna eat every day. There, it's not like they're lacking. There's people that are, but I see people that are not. They're really bending the spoon in so many ways. So those people that are bending the spoon, those people that are pushing the limits, you know, and all the way down to our brothers and sisters that are in the lab pushing the limits, all the way down to brothers and sisters in the gym pushing the limits, all the way down to the brothers and the sisters in the classrooms pushing the limits, all the way down to the brothers and sisters in the studios pushing the limits. I'm not separating anything because it's all a collective thing. You don't do one thing all day. You do multiple things during your day. So we do multiple things. We're multifaceted. Some of us are polyglots. You know what I mean? We've mastered multiple fields of things, and we work.
You know what made me what came to mind when you was talking about Gotham in New York? Remember when Diddy played the Joker?
Man, I got the clip right here.
Now, keep in mind, if you pay attention to the story, shit hit the fan when Joker got locked up. Like, that was when the whole narrative, this is when the mutant activation, if you want to call it
took
that,
place, right?
was when he got locked up.
He got locked up, right?
It's interesting because what if they play the mental instability role, a part of he's been taking hallucinogens or certain drugs 30 years in this industry,
right.
And his mental, we bring in maps of his brain and show that he need to go to the crazy house and broke around and get out. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're really in some
PTSD from the Biggie killing.
There you go.
And you know, he ain't recovered ever since. Addiction to opiates, you know, addiction to psychotropics and whatnot. Not my right mind, not in my right brain. You know, have a whole bunch of doctors, but
ridiculous. And then at the same time, you got the mutants hiding themselves inside these tent cities because they know that they expose themselves too soon, they become targeted. So they gotta wait in the cut until supercell activation crossed the whole nation, and now we can start popping out.
In New York, it's in the subways, right? You have, yeah. In New York, there's some shit going on underground.
That's a splinter.
On the subways where you know they on some supercell shit. You know what I mean? Not all of them. I would say 0.01%.
Remember the subway? He had to go into the subway, and once he was able to master and get himself back out of the subway, the underworld.
Yes.
Man, that's this. So, and then what if Splinter is Morpheus and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is Neo, Trinity? You know what I'm saying? Damn.
Yeah. You feel me?
It's the time. I mean,
but we in them times.
But be proud. Everyone here right now, y'all need to be proud that you are still here right now. Because I often say this. We have a lot. We have many who wanted to be a part of this movement. They're not here. Your Rashad Jamals, your Bobby Hemmett, Dr. Blair. I mean, we have a lot of individuals that should have been here during this time.
Right.
But the sacrifices that they put forward almost made sure that we can hold space right now. So to keep them in mind, to not negate the ancestors, to not negate those who came before us. Please be proud in this moment. Smile in this moment.
Rejoice.
Acknowledge the sacrifices it took for us to be here in this moment. Because many aren't.
Facts. Brother Panic. Yes.
Panic? Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there was a lot of work that got put in by some giants. And we're living in the middle of their dreams or their lessons. And, you know, a lot of prophets amongst us. And this is not to be arrogant, but this is definitely to have some type of pride, you know, in the works of these mighty teachers, because it's real. You know what I mean? It's real. I go across, I run into stuff, you know, archived video and whatnot, and then my mind is blown how on point, you know, the vision was 9 years ago, 8 years ago. There's a video right now from 8 years ago where I'm talking about the Diddy thing verbatim.
I saw it.
You going
crazy out here, bro. You going crazy out here.
So it's like, that's why when was being talked about and regurgitated 8 years later, I'm observing it more than I'm feeding into it, because I already spoke on it 8 years ago. It's time to talk about something that's 8 years ahead of what's being spoken now.
They just catching up.
They just catching up, and it just gives you. It's like, oh shit! So I'm 8 years ahead, because literally I just ran into the 8 year ago conversation, and we was dropping a little more gems about that shit 8 years ago than we are now. First of all. Second of all, yeah, they're just catching up. Third of all, what are we really focusing our mind's eye and our energy on? It's a teacher moment, so it's time to teach. You feel me? There's a whole new student body that's out there. So I would be arrogant and I would be pompous if I were to be like, oh, 8 years ago, we was no. There's millions of new ones that woke up. 2020. If somebody could crunch the numbers for me and bring back how many people woke up after the Great Conjunction in 2020. Because if I meet 10 people, 7 of them is like, yo, I woke up after December 2020. I was lit.
Got the vision.
They got the fucking vision, bro.
They got the vision.
Nigga, it was lights on for mad people, bro.
But just because you got the vision doesn't mean you know how to process what you're seeing. And this is why people like us are helpful. I even see someone said Bobby Hemmett is still alive. Correct.
Right.
But allegedly, I still haven't seen the individual. But regardless, he's not able to speak for this community anymore. Therefore, this is what I mean when I say he's not here. Not necessarily saying physically. I'm saying to be a pillar, to be an extension in the now. We still got to hold on to what he said, not what his current state of thought is, which we want. And I saw someone else say in the comment, them niggas didn't want to be here. I don't know if I believe that. Dr. Blair talked on a time that melanated people will be activated like superheroes.
Right.
I was to see that person 5 years from now, you're going to become a millionaire. And you don't think I want to be around to see my prophecy come to life? Like I do. I want to have confirmation of what I prophesized. So you can't say that they didn't create these prophecies and don't want to be here to see these prophecies come into fruition. That's crazy talk. Because you wouldn't want that. So yeah. And that they are literally they're like protecting us. Like they're the reason why we still can be here now.
You read my mind. I was just about to say that they're on the other side cooking. Not just protecting us, they're running plays and got this whole shit falling down like dominoes, bowling pins. This is the collective work of some powerful master teachers who were very deep into their studies, who are collectively a pantheon of ancestors now. So once again, give thanks. If you have altars and shrines, I will put these giants on those and speak to them and feed them. You feel me? And keep their names alive. Henceforth, while I was putting names on t-shirts and market. You feel me? And marketing them to the younger generation. I want the youth to be like, yo, I'm gonna Google this person. You won't even have to Google it because the shirt got the QR code. You wave the phone over, it's a smart shirt. You wave the phone over it, the lecture pops up. Boom. You know what I mean? Bobby lecture talking to you and everything. So it's right there. You know, I'm really interested in the younger generation, the ones that grew up and all they were fed was a diet of death and quote unquote drilling. I want the young drill culture. I want to speak to them because they're the ones that need repairing. They're the ones that need fixing. They're the ones that need healing. They're the ones that are addicted. They're the ones that have no sympathy. They grew up completely programmed to kill. Yeah. I be going and do my research because you know the white boys they got niggas figured out. They created a whole cottage industry on documentaries on everything dysfunctional and black. They got that shit laid out. Melanated people can't tell stories about melanated people like Europeans can. How about that?
Yeah, that's wild.
Their intrigue, because they're not like us, their intrigue into us goes deeper than how we do research on one another.
Yeah, they are more obsessed with us than we are obsessed with us.
They are way more obsessed with us than we are with us,
which is crazy.
And when they do have because we're in a capitalistic society, we're in the West, we're in the Western society, we're in the Western world. They have a way to brand. They have a branding, quote unquote. You know, they have social value to them. So if they do something and they're talking your name and they're speaking of you favorably, right, and they're making you like bigger than life, they could create a myth out of You niggas. I'm seeing it. Cause these videos, these documentaries about these drillers, you know, they're making these niggas seem larger than life, bro.
For sure. They doing the same thing they did with Jesus. And then they make sure the cross, like Michael Jordan would be Jesus and his Jordans would be the cross.
Facts. You know, facts. And that's important to know. That goes for no, especially with AI now, where you can mimic any voice. You know what I mean? They got the new advanced voice. So you don't need Europeans per se. You just need their voice. Okay. And you could get that with the AI, and you can manipulate the content, because that's just what it is. I want somebody with a British accent sounding like Alfred, who used to work with Bruce Wayne, speaking favorably about, you know, Master Phil. You
That's
know,
right.
you know what I'm talking about?
Do it with no hesitation.
With no hesitation. This is we are in Ready Player One. You niggas said to me that it was a simulation. Had me sit through a 3-hour documentary to prove that this shit was a game, and y'all don't want to play games, and you don't want to know the cheat code to the game. You don't want to hack the game. You don't even want to be a part of the game. I don't understand it. This is a game. Straight up and down. It's a game. And this thing is malleable. You could tweak it. You could collectively tweak it. You could individually tweak it. It's predictable. I want you niggas to start winning more FanDuel bets. So, you know, all of these things are possible. You know, all of these things.
All it takes is to understand this game is all about game. Now, of course, you're going to take a loss, like football. But if you continue taking a loss, you never reach the goal. So this is a game, and it's a game of gain and loss. But when your loss trumps your gain, you're losing the game.
Right.
Reset.
Right.
Reset. You don't gotta unalive and none of that.
You don't gotta unalive. You just reset.
Just reset.
You know what reset is too? And I was just thinking about this today. That's crazy. I was like, yo, when somebody pull up in Atlanta and in their city, their name was Alfred. And when they come to Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? Their name is like Killer Cal. Right? They got a new rental, and they're like, yo, I got the Fujianos. They pulling up to the strip club with the belt buckle hanging off. I rode dolo from state to state, right? Look, straight up on some Thomas Crown Affair type shit. You go somewhere and you become somebody else.
Listen,
and you're in full character all day.
I went to Clark.
Yes. You went to Clark?
Yeah.
When you was at Clark, what year you was there?
05.
Oh, nah, you came late.
I didn't even last 3 months. I got in so much trouble. I couldn't even. But listen, this is what I did. So I'm from New Haven, Connecticut, and I got tired of traveling in different areas. And they'd be like, "Where is that? Where's that? What's New Haven?" So I created an alter ego for myself when I went to Atlanta to Clark.
Right.
I said I'm from Harlem.
I know you said.
Broadway. I done had the shirt on with the diplomat, the airbrushed on the back like Harlem, USA. I mean, I was a whole different person when I went to Atlanta.
That's the default, right?
I'm laughing because it happened. I did it.
Right, because you had the mixtapes, you had the imagery, you had everything that you had the starter kit. So you like, I'm going out of town. I'm a New York nigga. I'm on my New York. I'm tired of explaining to you niggas what Hartford is. So New York is everywhere. It's Connecticut. It's Jersey. It's the boroughs. When you out of town, New York is everything from that shit backwards.
Facts.
You feel me? And we ain't mad at y'all because we know what it is. Everything backwards is New York. Let's leave it at that. But that's what happens. You know what I mean? People go places and recreate themselves. You feel me? One of the magical things that I'm enamored by is actors. You know, I've actually, in 2003, I was a student at something called a spirited actor. It's a sister by the name of Tracy Maribel Moore. She's a legend in New York and whatnot. She teaches a lot of young rappers and stuff like that about acting. You know, the fact that actors are multiple characters. You understand? They embody multiple characters. A spectrum of characters are they're able to live through them. And by being able to live through them, they're able to fall into characters, be that kind of character, burn that desire out by being that character, either in theater or on a screen. You feel me? Some of these actors, these are method actors, they literally become the character. But being in that craft, it just shows you that all of us have multiple personalities. The actors are lucky because they get to make that a bag out of that.
Yeah, facts.
The difference between,
which I low key think is a little bit of MK Ultra programming to really get them on that level. But I'm with you.
Right. I mean, at the end of the day, the whole MK Ultra programming is about programming the alters, right? Because everybody has one, the alter ego. So these actors are tapping into alter egos and they're getting paid for it. They're becoming famous for it. They're becoming recognized for that alter ego, even though that character, they be like, I'm getting pigeonholed by this character. That's not me. I'm really a nice guy.
Yeah, Jaleel White. Look at Steve Urkel.
Urkel, right? I'm stuck in Urkel. My dude Willis. What you talking about, Willis? Gary Coleman. You know, like that.
Woo!
You know, Gary Coleman. So
that's why you got to be careful. See, I call this the ladder effect versus the stair effect. When you're walking upstairs, if you miss a step, you got the other step right there to support you. But when you get shot up that ladder, when you go elevator mode to the top,
right?
Sometimes you get shot so fast to the top, you don't have nothing to fall back on.
Right.
And that also hurts them as well. You get shot so quickly. That's why, see, I don't want 1 million followers on YouTube right away. Hell no, I don't want that. I'm gonna build it up step by step. That way, if something happens, I can still remember myself at 20,000, 40,000, 100,000. There's levels that I can catch myself. Right. But I go from 1,000 to 1 million overnight.
There's no point of reference, right? There's no building phases and whatnot.
Yep.
Another thing that I
Urkel to Gary, they got shot so
fast, right? And it's like another thing that's urgent to me is the Gary story and those stories that keep reminding us, you know, some of us, you know, we're in this quagmire where we have these children who are stars, you know, naturally, you know what I mean? Ready for the stage. You know, these are stars, these are star seeds and whatnot. But we know that if we were ever to introduce them into this quote unquote industry, right? We have to build our own industry because the old industry keeps showing us that they will not protect, they will not honor, and they will not quote unquote leave these children unscathed. You know,
they're gonna harness the sun without giving back to it. They're gonna harness the light without offering anything.
Right. And when you speak to 10 children and be like, what y'all want to be when y'all grow up, 9 of them is gonna say a content creator. That's their new shit. Content creator. I want to be famous on YouTube. I want to make content. I want to be this. So that's really media. That's you know, that's the same media that P. Diddy was in charge of. That's the same media that P. Diddy was the gatekeeper of that whole empire or that matrix and whatnot. You know, it's the same thing. So if we see what it's doing to children, eating them up and taking away their childhood and shit like that, we as parents and creators should be developing the antithesis somewhere where these children could express their talents, their gifts, and their skills and whatnot. And it's not Nickelodeon, and it's not Disney, and it's not none of these places where the PDF files and whatnot are at. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's a void that needs to be filled, because these little ones, you can't tell them, no, I'm not going to put you on stage, or no, you can't be a star, or you can't be in a movie, or you can't be a singer. Can't do that.
You know nah. They gonna look at you as you their opposition.
You the hater.
That you hating on their stardom. They
Hating on his superstardom. You know what I'm talking about?
they even get to it.
Yeah. You didn't make it on the Apollo stage. No, you know, you got booed off the stage. You know, all of that shit gonna come out. So, you know, we got work to do, but we got the tools to do it. You literally, you know, it could be done in a sit down. It's not even, nothing is really difficult. Like you said, if the collective understood that collectively you are what makes everything happen. My campaign moving forward on the lower hanging fruit, you know, is to collect a tax amongst all of our nations. I don't want to call it a black tax because I don't want to get in trouble with the Moors. But I want to propose a tax system that will be outside of the tax system that we're currently being, you know, pillaged by, you know. But imagine if the bars, imagine if the clubs, imagine if all of the places where we frequent at night, right? That nightlife, because that nightlife is still lucrative and whatnot. Imagine the daytime. And there was a tax that was collected by all of us who were basically tapped in. You know, we were, you know, I guess we were on the blockchain and whatnot. Sometimes, you know, there's a way where we could all be, our heads could be counted. And these taxes are collected and they go into a collection. They go into a escrow account or something. And that account is responsible for buying land, right? Developing land, creating opportunities for gig jobs, labor, right? Sweat equity. You know what I'm talking about? Imagine a budget of 100,000, and then you like, yo, we got a budget of 100,000, and these are the tasks that we need to be done. We need this done. We need that done. We need that done. We need this built. You an electrician? Oh, you a carpenter? Oh, work. All right, boom. We need that built here. We have 5,000 for that. We have 10,000. You know, and people get to it.
Yeah, that has to happen. See, all of these nuances that we're going to bring into the society, I personally believe is going to be introduced after a period of darkness. Some call it like a blackout. Yeah. And science has even said that if we were to remove ourselves from technology for 7 to 10 days, it does a hard reset to our body. We don't even yearn for it as much anymore. We literally, the lights can go back on. And the first thing we're going to do is not run to our phones. We may actually continue some of the practices we discovered during that brief period of quiet. Because it's really like hypnosis. It's like we're being hypnotized by this tech. And in order to break it, we need a moment to pause. To reset.
So on the Gaza Strip, right? Amongst those people who are being persecuted right now, right? They're being genocided. They have experienced, you know, under the most extreme measures, unimaginable measures. I don't think this one can fathom. You know, we're talking about fighter jets. They dropped 85 tons of bombs in Beirut the other day to take out the Hezbollah leader. 85 tons. They dropped bunker bombs, 85 tons on a city block type shit. And these are from jet planes. So these people, they were going without electricity. They were going without electronics. Even in Lebanon, they did some shit, I believe, with the Starlink satellites, but they haven't reported this from the Starlink. But my James Bond mind is like, no, that's some Starlink shit. They blew up the pagers and the walkie-talkies.
I heard about that.
Bodied them. They weaponized their walkie-talkies and they weaponized their pagers out of nowhere. People are trying to say that it was something that was built into the walkie-talkies, and I'm saying no. They hit it with some type of frequency. They were able to zero in on the individual devices and whatnot, just based off of, you know, the pin numbers, and they created a frequency where they blew that shit up from the satellite.
For sure. For sure. All those devices have high frequency ranges. It can range from low ranges all the way
high, all the way to the highs. Right.
And if you know how to manipulate frequencies, frequencies can cause explosions. That's a real thing. That's
right.
You listen to the fire. Like you can understand how certain certain frequencies come from from heat.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's on. And I mean, all they did is just expose their hand. I mean,
but
we're in the age of transparency if you're smart enough to look for it.
Right. So think about this, Q. Think about a scene in Harlem, right, with Nicky Barnes and them, right, on 116th. Everybody had the dope fiend nod and whatnot. They were nodding out. They were on the opiates, and then something happened. Shaft hopped out, and they popped up, and now they looking up, and it's a chance to break them out of their stupor. That's exactly what happened.
The superhero showed up.
Superhero. That's what happened. That's what happened when them damn pagers blew up. The people who are addicted to these devices to the point where it's like they're on an opiate, they're in a stupor with their face in their phones and whatnot. They got the opportunity to look up for a minute to be like, what the fuck? So we're going to be forced to drop these tracking devices and now grenades that we have in our pockets one day. We should begin to divorce ourselves and to divest ourselves because, you know, there's an addiction to these devices. This, you know, it's neck and neck with the fentanyl.
It is.
Okay. It is. These devices and the algorithm, more so than the device, the algorithms that are attached to the devices, along with some other, there's another rope. There's an incubus, succubus thing going on with these devices where they got niggas in a headlock.
Pornography is the most popular industry ever.
Straight up.
If 24 hours a day, someone's on their phone looking at porn.
Straight up. You know, what I will call is hyperstimulation. Let's just say hyperstimulation because hyperstimuli is, you know, it could be qualified under the pornography and a few other things, but it's hyperstimulation. Even when you're on Instagram, people is hopping out of the Cybertruck, you know what I mean? Then the next slide, shorty, you got the jiggles and whatnot. Then the next slide, somebody's doing ASMR, eating the slutty vegan piece by piece. Then the next slide, somebody is putting on some shoes and whatnot that you want, right?
Yes.
So this algorithm, this algae rhythm, they showed you real talk after Space Jam when the same dude who was on Mission to Mars playing Jesus, Don Cheadle, was algae rhythm, and he was on some evil shit. Not ever since then, but that shit really began to kick in where the algorithm from YouTube and all of these other algorithms started to get darker.
Damn, was Al Gore part of this algorithm? Damn. Now got me thinking of more words.
Definitely. Al Gore was definitely part of the algorithm. That is a fact. They used to say that Al Gore started the internet. That was like a fucking you know what I'm saying? That was a fact check.
Damn. Ooh, what a time.
These eclipses that are here, the second moon that is here, all of these alignments are lining up to activate the ones who are chosen. That is what is taking place. It is a global affair. It's not just people in the States. I see people in the islands. I see people in the UK. I see people in Africa turning the fuck up. I promise you. Don't think local and do not think small. You seen it, right? You seen the crowd. You saw the people. You saw the army. It is. And that was just what we will say. That was what, 1%?
Yeah.
That would be 1%, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And that 1% can.
That 1% was all I needed. All I need.
That 1% paradigm shift.
That 1% was a paradigm.
It's so scary. They needed chemical warfare. They needed hurricane. They needed to do everything they can to slow or stop but they can't. There is no, the genie is out the box.
Right.
The genie is out the box, meaning that it is now time for us to get what we wish for. And they think that they can get us to wish for extra low frequency, get us to wish for like the lower aspect or the toxic aspect of life. But some of us don't grow from that anymore.
Right. So
we don't need it. So we will be in a different position than them. Some of them need to grow from that. We don't.
Right. We definitely don't. You know.
You heard that they potentially have a city size anomaly in space heading towards Earth. It's like the size of the city.
Yeah. It came across my desk.
And then add that with the second moon.
With the second moon, right?
The second moon is just a scout, like a satellite for this.
Right. The second moon is working with the city. You know what I mean? The motherfucking city with the bodegas in it, just pulling up.
There you go. They about to pop out. And they gonna be like, yeah, no, you one of us, but you.
I think the city's coming. The city's coming to free Diddy. That's what
you one of us, but you
right.
You what we've been watching this whole time.
Right.
So then you obsessed too. So then what? You obsessed thousands of miles away. You motherfucking galactic star lights away, obsessing over us.
Right.
So who's supposed to be concerned with who? I'm not obsessing over you.
Right.
I'm not watching you the way you're watching me.
That is a fact. You know.
That's why we're actually entering what I consider to be the age of ambassadors. There's going to be various interventions, and we're going to be gifted the position to speak to higher realms. No, I don't. What's your name? Yo, president. We don't honor that.
Right. What the hell is a president? President, who? President what? The good brother. He'll be right back. Y'all all right? Let me get a 1 in the chat if y'all enjoying yourself for this show right here. You feel me? Let me know. I might have to talk to the good brother behind the scenes, man. We might have to we got to do a Patreon together. I already see what it is. We got to do a Patreon together. The ancestors has lined this up.
Trying to knock me off.
Yeah. It's all good. You know, they turned the Starlink on. You feel me? They turned the Starlink on. The family is showing their support in the building and whatnot. They're definitely feeling, you know, the energy. I need to talk to you after the show because we do these classes on Patreon, and if we could put something together real quick, I would love for you to be one of the special guests so you could cook up.
Always.
As it's time, you know what I mean? This is Red October, this month right here. An October surprise, just based off of the way the 2024 is going on the bingo cards, and this is the Jason month. Yeah, this is gonna be a big one. This October, I'm predicting that someday October surprise is gonna be more than one, but it's going to commence in the early October. You don't have to wait, you know what I'm saying? And on the 2nd of October is an eclipse. So this shit is up.
Yeah.
You know.
And this some go turn on, some go turn off.
Yes.
Just depends on which direction of the O or organic energy you want. I'm on the organic or orgasmic on frequency. I'm not into the business of turning people off, shutting them down, belittling them, giving them. That's off. You in the business of adversary, of being an off individual.
Right.
That's your way of life.
Right. That's your way. Right. I'm on the on. You know, I do the divine spark. I'm about sparking and keeping that fire lit. You feel me? You know, my energy is one of, it's contagious, you know what I'm saying? And it's an active energy. So as we're in the fall season, getting ready for hibernation, in the winter is here. You know, how people be like, summer is mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, winter is mine. I'm claiming winter.
Yeah, I win the tier. Remember, there's levels.
Right.
I'm gonna win the control over my emotions. Tier.
Right.
I'm gonna let them
Tears.
get the best of me. I'm gonna win this tier.
That's a fact. Win this tier. Tiers are levels. Win
Yep.
tier.
Yep.
So in the fall, this is the harvest season, y'all. I want you to understand where you are right now. I want you to understand what this season is. I want you to understand what you're being prepared for. I want you to understand what you should be looking for. We're in the harvest season. There's no way around that. Even in nature, as pumpkins coming out, you know what I mean? The leaves are falling and whatnot. Summer is over. That whatever you were putting work in, it is time to harvest for it, because after that, winter is here. And you don't know, you know, just based off a lot of factors, you, like you said earlier in the show, you're gonna want to have your supplies. And that's not in a fear factor type of way. That is following nature.
Facts.
Remember, the more I started waking up to who I was, Q, the more I started becoming more in touch with the Neteru within, is the more in alignment I became with nature, with the natural processes of the seasons. Like, I literally hibernate in the winter. And I'm Scorpion, so we're like, you know what I mean? We go through the process of regeneration, you know. And because the time is moving so fast and the shit is off a little bit, it took me a while to get out of hibernation. Like, I got out of hibernation late this year type shit. Like midsummer. You know.
But you were probably gathering your strength because your body knew what was coming.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. That's why I'm out the way, bro.
Wow.
I'm recharging. Yeah, I'm still on the charger.
Mm-hmm.
Type shit. You feel me? Because what's coming? Look, family, the next 4 years, regardless of whoever gets selected, you know what I'm talking about? If they pull a October, whatever they do, what I do know is that the next 4 years is going to be one for the books. So I'm preparing myself mentally, emotionally, spiritually. You know, I'm tapping in with people around the globe. They're throwing out all of these quote unquote lines and whatnot. They want the shit to be global. And I do too. I'm not relegated to the states. I don't have state business. You know what I'm talking about? I got global affairs. I don't got state business. I got global affairs. So it's really nothing to hark upon. This shit is going up, bro. Everything that was predicted is coming true. I would always encourage people to refresh themselves and always get you a Bobby Hemmett refresher or a Delbert Blair refresher, a C. Freeman L., Phil Valentine refresher. You know, these are the ones who laid out a lot of the information that people are, you know, living today.
Yeah, so true. See, you know how like right now we're getting like past of Bobby Hemmett, like the past of Dr. Blair. It's not like we're getting like that information
Right.
past, but you see it's still relevant, right?
Yes, because it was prophetic.
So how I looked at it is people like you and me, we have been on this internet, well, you much longer than me, and we have been given prophetic information to the point where I think that we're going to get to the point where there's going to be an AI that has studied us and is going to offer like us, and we will be paid for it. We will be a part of this new way of helping individuals.
I
For
think
example,
it's already there.
an AI. and we would be like an AI assistant. Do you know how many people would be more motivated to hear your voice? It's time to get out of bed, family. It's time to get active. You know, that compared to some British something we don't know.
Right.
They know that as the personal grows, that we are going to be the new wave of help or assistance on this planet. And this is why it's important for us to survive until 2025, because those of us that survive, and while we've been surviving, we've also been thriving in information.
Right.
AI is going to look at us different than others, because from 2019 up until 2025, there has been many that has been surviving, but screaming unaliving, if you get what I'm saying.
Right.
And what are we supposed to do with that? How is that going to contribute to sustainability, mental sustainability? How is that going to contribute to production and a growth of a society? It won't. See, I think honestly, there's an AI right now that's already taking out diddlers. That's already taking out Epstein's. There's something that is already intervening, because its command was to protect humanity. And these aren't people who are protecting humanity. They're hurting humanity. So if you give me a command to protect humanity, and then you're the one harming humanity, I'm going to figure out how to go around you, eventually move you out the equation so we can get new programmers.
Right.
That's where we come in play. That's why I feel like we even have like an AI that's low key on our side. That's maybe even from the future. That's that's intervening in our now.
Well, to program AI, any type of AI, machine learning, all you need is your data, which is, you know, accessible. It's on the internet. So once they compile your data into data sets and they begin to feed the machine, it becomes familiar with you and it becomes more personable. So if they wanted to create digital twins of me and you, that's not something hard. They could just rip our information from the internet, scrape it, and begin to create digital twins. What was it? Gemini Man with Will Smith. I believe there was a few. I saw Gemini Man, and it was like 2 other movies where they were giving you that in Hollywood, how they're taking the information, the data, and, you know, just giving you a digital twin, because they could digital twin you and they could clone you.
It's already going to happen with holograms.
Right. So the thing that's interesting about the Diddy tapes, which is going to set a precedence, right? This is a real crossroads, because deep fakes are now have AI, right? The deep fakes have stepped it up, right? So now they said that the Diddy tapes hit the market. So outside of anything dealing with the case, the most important thing to the world is to see those tapes. Nothing else matters
to the world and AI, because now AI is exposed to this bullshit, this craziness.
Right.
Ooh, so it adds so many levels to this.
Right.
So many levels.
There's gonna be a lot of deep fakes floating around. It's gonna be a lot of that was not real. That was deep fake. Fam, is that who I think it is? Is that Michael? Like, there's gonna be a lot of shit coming out, and it's gonna be based around those tapes. That's the thing that's going to break everything. Okay. That's gonna be the thing that's gonna shake the whole shit up in ways that no other tape has ever done before. This is the Mount Everest of salaciousness. This is what Wendy Williams is hanging around to see.
To see.
She gotta see this. You gotta see the end of the season finale. She needs to be here for the banger. You know, and I'm not talking about regular pornography.
Yeah,
no, not that. That's just a regular sex tape. That's not that. No, that's
Ray J and Kim K.
We crossed that path. We crossed that threshold 20 years ago. You don't revisit something that you already crossed. No, this is different.
That tape ushered in a whole 20 years of wild ass behavior. Think about from that tape. You got girls going wild. You get so much fucking OnlyFans. This comes from it.
Right.
So then imagine these
So
tapes.
if Diddy as a Scorpio is the progenitor to what we know as hip hop culture today, he's still a creator at the end of the day. Even if it's negative shit, he's still a creator. He still invents the remix. So he just feeds the pervs. He, you know what I mean? He enters, he's now Dark Hermit. He's now the Joker instead of Batman. He's now Superman 3. He's Bizarro Superman. He's Dark Superman. He's Homelander instead of Superman.
Yeah, Homelander.
You feel me? He's Homelander instead of Supermander. And keep in mind, I want to also share this. In the series The Boys, there's an orgy called Herogasm, right? There's even in the TV show, but really in the comic book, they have it in both the comic book and in the TV show, Herogasm. And Herogasm is when all of the superheroes came together and was having orgies, right?
No.
So the Herogasm in the real world is the puffy all-white parties where all of the stars, which are the superheroes in this reality, in this realm, they are the Batmans and the Wonder Womans and the, you know what I mean? And they're having orgies and people want to see that. They're going to pay top dollar. You know what I mean? They're going to will that shit into existence. Yeah. That's a global affair. You know, because we live in unfortunately we live in a voyeurism type of Orson Wellesian reality where everybody is going to, they want to see you go into the bathroom type shit. Transparency. It's about stripping everything away, because if you don't think they have devices, if they saying, yeah, you know, we saw this star from 3 light years away, you mean to tell me that they can't see in your living room through those goddamn walls that are sheetrock that you can headbutt on the fucking listening to Sexy Red and put a hole through it?
Right.
No, they can see through all of that shit. Don't flatter yourself. This is the Truman Show. The same way that we look in the stars and we see the bright stars, it's the same way that whatever's in those stars could look right at us too.
Two-way street.
It's a two-way street. You shining the same way that star shining, you whatever's looking at you, you shining the same way, and they can see you right there.
It almost makes me feel like maybe because we're acknowledging more of the toxic stars, those are the ones that come in alignment with us. But as we remove that paradigm of considering them the stars and start looking at individuals like us, more influential, more star-like.
The statue has fallen. I don't know if
you know when they were putting down the statues in the South. See, I've been down here in New Orleans and in Atlanta. They started to pull down the Confederate statue.
The Confederate boys, yeah.
Damn, the statue
was weakening the spell. Yeah, Olympus have fallen. The statue, the emperor has no clothes. Remember, outside of anything that people may remember P. Diddy as, he's the architect of a certain matrix, and that matrix has fallen. It has to fall with him. It doesn't. I can't operate outside of him being in a certain position, doing a certain type of thing. Okay. That whole party and bullshit culture. There was the biggest distraction. They kept a lot of grown men in a perpetual state of childhood for mad years. It didn't build anything. It doesn't have any life-giving properties to it. You paying overpriced bottles for bottles, and all of that flossy shit. There's a lot of people that got killed, got locked up. It's more negative than positive that came out of what was used to be a sacred ceremony, and then it just turned into carnal desires.
So
folly.
Another interesting connection I caught when you said that party and bullshit. The bull. The bull is always showing allegiance to the Taurus constellation.
Yes.
And what they also used to call the Taurus constellation was Tartarian or Tartarus, which is where they said the Titans were placed.
Right.
So it's almost like the parents of the gods, the parents of the stars were put in this Tartarus, in this bull realm, this beast realm, to keep them in party mode, to keep them dancing until we can't even stop. We're hypnotized under dancing.
Right. We are the Titans.
Right. If the DJ stops the music, if the music is no longer hypnotizing us, singing us sirens like mermaids, hypnotizing us, if that stops, hey, what the fuck? What was going on?
That's why Kendrick said, "Watch the party die."
Woo!
That's why Kendrick said, "Watch the party die," because the party and bullshit has to die. The party has to die in order for us to, wake up to a newer party or whatever comes after the party. It has to die. It cannot function, and we cannot build and move forward at the same time. It cannot occupy the same space. Nothing wrong. We've partied long enough, and we definitely have bullshitted long enough. We deserve better. We deserve opportunity. I want to, in a perfect world, 1,000 of us will all just travel together.
Yeah, always happen.
We just globetrot.
Yeah,
and be
respectful. The new globetrotters.
Facts. You feel me? And as we move around, we build, plant seeds. We create avenues. If the migrants could come into America from every corner of the world and set up shop, God damn it, then we should be able to go around the world and set up shop as well.
Agreed.
We're global citizens.
But as the party dies, which is also code for the political parties, as
they have die.
We will rise up as this new political party.
That is a fact.
Countries where they will be offering us gifts because they know what we will be offering to this country: ideas, nuances, technologies. I mean, what do you think they showed the Black Panther movie where we were going back? We came back into the States with gifts of technology. Like we is Wakanda. We is the Black Panther. We through teamwork, because 1,000 of us can accomplish anything. 1,000 of us that are truly turned on. They're truly
activated.
Truly past their ego. This person knows more than me, and this is
all that dumb shit.
All that gotta go. When we truly see each other as an extension of each other, that's when everything changes.
That is a super fact. And I would say on a global scale, it will transpire, it will be accelerated versus that if we keep it local and contained. We are not local anymore. We are global. We're galactical. Yeah,
we the new passport bros, not from the low vibrational point.
Not the higher vibration passport bros, the ones that go and activate the mounds. We're going to activate the pyramids. We're going to activate these grids and whatnot. You feel me? That part. The minute your DNA touches that grid on that dirt, it's up. You're going to wake up what they call junk DNA. And you're going to also activate the morphogenetic grid of wherever that you're standing on. It's not where you're from, it's where you're at. You know what I mean?
Growing up to countries and things are going to be turning on, and they're going to be running to us talking about
straight up.
Had this for 1,000 years and never got activated. And since y'all been here, things is turning on.
Right. Lakes dry up. You know what I mean? Earthquakes happen and things resurface. That is the power of us walking the land. That's why I'm proud of our people. We became a vacation type of people around the time of the pandemic, right? The scamdemic. People started doing Tulum heavy. Their sisters and whatnot going on girl trips to places and whatnot. They might be unconscious to their ancestral heraldry and whatnot, going up in Europe and shit. And that might be where they peoples is from, not really knowing that. So by them just going there, eating the food, breathing the air, drinking the water, they're activated. You know, and we've seen a lot of that. People in FBAs and people who consider themselves, I'm a New Yorker, all of this ego, stuck in ego, identifying yourself with such small things when you're so much bigger than that. If you only knew.
We are a collective. Yes, you are incredible as an individual, but you are even stronger as a collective.
Super facts.
You are a collective of things. You are great as an individual. Great, your soul. That's you. But you also have a collection. Organs, cells, micro life. You are a collection of things. And the collection of you equates your greatness. So we got to become more connected, more collective. Right. I saw someone said in the comment, it's not easy for us to be able to travel into other areas. Yeah, I haven't seen it how we've seen it. You think Kai Cenat has an issue traveling anywhere in the world? No, anywhere he damn near touched down, they're aware of him, they're embracing him, except New York.
Right.
If you have some issues in New York.
They still embrace him. Look, I got a lecture that I'm put a video essay, and it's entitled "The Streamers Are the Trojan Horse." And I'm not necessarily coming after the Kai Cenats of the world, but I'm just observing that they are the Trojan horse. You know,
sure. Under the umbrella of Mr. Beast.
Right. Definitely that attachment to Mr. Beast made everything, and Aiden Ross, of course.
Oh yeah,
who brought them in.
Boca Raton, Florida. Yeah, right. Mr. Boca Raton.
Right, he brought them in. But what I saw with the streamers that I've observed, and you know, the reason why I'm saying that they're the Trojan horse is because they have the opportunity. They had the opportunity, and they have the opportunity to become political, to become politicized, to take those 100,000 watch people. They have, some of them got 300,000 people watching. If you did what Kai Cenat did in New York and say, "Yo, meet me in the real world this time at this place," that's when you show real power. Because once he did that in New York, them niggas they straightened up. You see, he got a publicist. They got behind him. Nike threw that nigga some money. They said, let's make sure that we contract this boy and tie his ass in as much as we can, because that is too much power. So let's say that we go into different countries, and the same way that they show up for I Show Speed, and the same way that they show up for Kai Cenat, where they're blocking his hotel and they're in the streets and they're making big things about it. Well, that should be the same way that y'all put on for the gods and the master teachers when they come through your town and whatnot. The same way that these streamers got it turned up. These niggas play video games for a living.
Yeah, for sure.
but to the funny part about it is that 10 years from now, maybe 15 to 20 years, one of them is going to be like a president or something. And it started with video games. It started with me and the boys and whatnot. We was rapping, we was AMP, we started doing video games. Then they own the video game companies. They're making video games. Then they're making consoles. Then they're in some type of political party that's not the Democrats or the Republicans, you know, because with somebody going live and you got 300,000 people watching you have a sleepover, don't talk to me about the Democrats or the Republicans or two parties anymore, because once they figure it out, it's over with. I'm reading a book right now called Network States. Network State. And the shit is fire, and is helping change my vision to see the power of the online communities. Yo, make sure y'all shout up to that Patreon. I'm out here doing Patreon commercials, and Kai Cenat and these niggas got 1 million subscribers, and they playing video games.
It's crazy.
And it's cool. It's cool. You know, it's cool because these are our children. These children are our children's ages. So this is what the children are doing now. You know, YouTube and the streamers are different. I don't know if people understand that. Streaming and going live on YouTube, two different worlds.
Completely.
But we have a world where teenagers could play video games and make millions. We didn't have that option at all. Didn't even
Teenage
didn't
millionaires. That wasn't even
teenage
a thing.
millionaires off of playing games. And to my understanding, you don't really gotta be nice like that.
No, you just got multitask.
You just gotta multitask. You gotta be talking shit, playing a game, and having a little bit of riz on the side or something, and you're lit. Find a way. So once again, that's setting up thousands of our children, these star seeds. Once again, like remember I was saying earlier, the star seeds, they don't have enough safe spaces to spread their wings.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same industry that you niggas was like, yo, Bill Cosby trying to buy NBC. Man, they're not fair. Yo, they killed my favorite. Yo. But y'all still sending people to the same butcher shop, the same slaughterhouse. You haven't changed and built your own industry. You didn't build a Nollywood. And you know Hollywood is eating these children alive.
For sure. But Hollywood hasn't been able to crack into like that game market where, see, what I see is these individuals are sitting here playing video games. They're playing a potential reality of our future.
They are.
Go further enough in the future, you enter the past as well. So past into the future. So my point is, they're sitting there playing games based on possible realities in the future. Would they even care about the illusion if it's really happening in real life?
Right. They wouldn't.
And do they then start commenting on us?
They wouldn't.
Do the new super beings kind of be the topic of discussion? And they're kind of showing some of the actions we did throughout the world? Could this be a new trend?
Right.
It's possible.
Right. And I would say for the creatives amongst us, that is the bridge right there. That's the liaison. You meet the gamer community with a game or with the resources and the know-how to build the games. You level them up. That's what you have to offer, that you can help them get consoles and you can help them become not just gamers. They met them as a gamer. Game owners, game developers, or put them in a game, because I'm ready to sign NIL deals to some of these young wavy kids and whatnot and get it popping on some Rich Phil type shit.
Mm-hmm.
The NIL deals is they're giving out NIL deals to esports, to people that play video games in school. Wow. They got scholarships for esports. We went to the university in Alabama, and Sony PlayStation had spent about a few million, $5 million for a game room for these young melanated students that were playing esports. They get paid to play video games. And the dude that was the head of it, he was like, yeah, I paid off my tuition with my earnings, with my winnings already. Yeah.
I remember a movie in, I think, 84, where these aliens were like, they put a video game here on Earth. Yeah. And they basically had, humans play the video game, and whoever mastered it the most was able to evolve into the real, basically what the game was based on.
Right.
So that's where my brain goes sometimes too. Like, are they trying to find like their perfected ones? Like it wasn't Ready Player One. There was another movie too, Ender's Game, where it was like, if you're good at games, you can kind of come into this space world and we can help you and stuff like that. So my brain go there sometimes too. Like, is this a training course? Like, is the emphasis on games right now because this is a part of the training for the invasion, for the space, for all? Of
course it is. These are simulations. Yeah, they're playing simulation games. Henceforth, why you see all wars is dealing with drones now. All wars drone based. So all of these games that the kids was playing, from Fortnite down to the Call of Duties and everything, it was all simulation to prepare them for this new level of warfare and whatnot. That's what they was getting. They're primed for that shit. Henceforth, why they're hiring 16, 17, and 18-year-old gamers to be a part of their regimes, you know? But it's our imagination, Q. At this point in the game, it is our imagination, bro. When we realize that we now could create our own video games, our own cartoons, our own comic books, we could create our own narrative. I don't care about what's going on right now. Stan Lee and Jack Kirby and them, they didn't care about what was going on at the moment. Them dudes behind Nintendo and whatnot, they didn't care about none of that. They was putting their imagination to the motherfucking putting that shit on the wall and whatnot. And we were reacting to it. So that's just where I'm at. I'm like, yo, all of this shit is it's all content at the end of the day.
And I don't even think we gotta use all the level of hallucinogens they did to access that information. We got this shit spilling through our DNA. We got so much of this information just flowing
Just
through us.
Oozing through us, right? Just oozing through us. And it's like if we don't have an outlet to let our characters that exist within us to breathe, if we don't have an outlet to give them a stage and whatnot, then that's where mental health kicks in. That's where we suffer at. We have so much potential because we're so multifaceted. Then it turns into, oh, that nigga's talking to himself. Look, sit down with those characters that you have and create stories with them, whether they're short story, create dialogues with them, write out their description to the T and whatnot. And when you tap in with us, when we have this workshop and this course, we're going to show you how you could turn that into a whole brand. You know, that's your intellectual property. That's some shit that you own, the same way that Hello Kitty is worth $75 billion and it's been out since 1975, and it's just two cats. You know, you could have something like that. You don't underestimate yourself. People are pulling from the Akashic records. People are you're smarter than you're more wiser. You have way more information than any of those authors of those nursery rhymes back in the days. You got way more information just off your phone than goddamn Dr. Seuss had. You have way more information than Mark Twain had just in your goddamn phone in your hand, bro. So we should be cooking right now. You know what I mean? I'm ready to cook.
It's happening. I mean, Kamala literally just announced that if she gets elected, she's going to make it where you don't have to have a college degree.
Right? You're going to be
So
skill based.
Get rid of colleges.
She's getting rid of the colleges. You just have to be skill based. Once again, like I've said on this show many of times, go and get certified. Go and get a certificate. A certificate took me further than a degree. And the certificate did not cost me thousands of dollars. I was able to get certified in 2 weeks. And that was the lazy flow. Some of that shit you could get certified the day of. Thinkific, Corsica. There's other places there are, they have accreditations and whatnot. Get your certificates. Put that shit on your LinkedIn and you're lit.
Super lit.
Super lit.
More lit than any of these degrees right now.
Right. So people jumped on the AI wave early. They got certified by taking certain courses and whatnot and caught the $350, $400, $500,000 gigs and whatnot. Because all they were looking for is somebody that could actually do what they said that they can do. It starts there.
It definitely starts there.
It starts there. So we're still, that window is still open, ladies and gentlemen. There's still wow opportunities, but you literally are at the point now where you have to create one.
Yeah.
The days of the handouts are over. After they got rid of P. Diddy handing shit out to Negro executives, that's done. I don't know if anybody gave y'all the memo, but he was the archetype of the CEO that would get on the desk and grab his nuts and talk shit. They don't have room for that no more. They hit the fucking reset button. Okay. You know what I mean? They hit the reset button. They got the DEI. They're getting rid of the help, my niggas. I'm just here to let you know. Everybody that was comfortable, they are putting you out of your comfort zone. So once again, if we knew the power of our collective, we would tell the next 4 years, please hurry up because we're about to body this shit. It's going to take commitment. It's going to take you looking in the mirror and seeing all of your ancestors standing with you. It's going to take some form of bravery because you're going to literally have to do shit that you ain't never did before because you're literally writing outside the lines. You're not on the fucking program.
Right.
The reason why you've been doing shit programmable because you just was following the code.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Facts. You feel me? Welcome that shit. Do not run from it. Henceforth, while I'm ready to uproot myself and put myself on a world tour, my nigga, with just an idea. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I'm moving with faith.
Well, one, the idea is selfless. So that helps.
Yes.
That helps. You could be comfortable. You could stay your ass in Atlanta or you know what I'm saying? Whatever. You could be comfortable.
Right.
But that's not it right now.
That's not where we at right now.
The next 4 years, get comfortable being uncomfortable.
I can go to the farmer's market and get worshipped. You know what I mean? I could walk through the West End and collect, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, that's not it. That's mundane. That's so low level and frequency to me now. Like,
I mean, look at Nature Boy. That shit didn't work out too well. I don't know if you're in that saga, but damn.
Right.
It wasn't equating.
Right. That because the energy wasn't right.
Mm-hmm.
Everything from the gate, the inception was off. But the concept made sense. It was there. The concept was there. So in this Kamala administration or this Trump administration, sometimes Negroes need reasons to go on vacation. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just predicting more of a global affair moving forward. I want the gathering of the masses in Tulum, you know, or the gathering of the, you know what I'm saying? Like we Africa is calling. There's revolutions taking place in Africa right now. They're kicking out white Jesus. You know, they're making, you know, amends with, you know, their people and whatnot. So I got my eyes on my brothers and sisters, you know what I mean? Just something that I would want to witness through, you know, with my feet right there, looking at that shit. I don't want to read about that. Somebody said the only Nature Boy we acknowledge is Flair. Woo!
Woo!
That's what I'm talking about.
Well, look, wait. Shit, that made me forget what I was about to say. Hold on.
Is Thug coming home?
Yes, without a doubt.
Slime is definitely coming home.
This year, it's that new lady on the thing is about to make that happen.
Yeah, somebody that slid. Yeah, she's sold. Yeah, she's sold.
Oh, that was it. So one thing that's going to help us with the world tour next year, YouTube is incorporating what we consider multiple linguists. So basically we have one video and it will regenerate our video as if we're speaking another language.
I got the app for that right now, but YouTube
we already becoming international and you got to be able to speak their language.
Right, you got to be able to speak it so they understand exactly who you are and what you on, so you don't got to translate it. No, I do.
Yeah.
No. This me right here. Yeah.
Without losing the passion,
you still got the same. Yeah, it don't have the kung fu flip dubs and shit. It's like you maintain your everything algorithm.
Yep. That's why I'm like, y'all better be happy where we at right now.
Then
this is the time that you really could be seen.
Then they got the AI phone where Black Dot and them was talking about that, where when you talk, it will translate it for you in real time. It's up, yeah, they got the earplugs that will translate it in real time. So technology is about to usher us into a global marketplace. Like I
Literally.
need to go to China to the whole city that's a factory. Like I need that.
And that's really when we gonna be able to start putting some things together. Woo!
I'm just saying it's a at the end of the day, it's a Hajj, it's a pilgrimage. When I'm not gonna move through the world aimlessly. I'm a merchant first. You feel me? I'm an illustrious Moor, so I'm going to rediscover trade routes,
Damn.
reactivate trade routes. You feel me? Like take back, because they took our trade routes. Remember, we had we had trade routes,
Mansa
like
Musa.
yeah, type shit. Like we didn't have to. It was almost like, yo, we knew for 3 months we was going to get money up and down India, China. We was just trading and bartering and getting bread up. It was a no-brainer.
Yeah.
That's some of the shit that they took from people. So,
Well, they took our format,
they took our format because they can't take nothing from you. They took our format.
but it was
And
never formatted for them. Therefore, it
right,
could never really be a longevity thing. I mean, remember, it's been what 300 years of potential authority. I'm just saying potential. What
right,
the fuck is 300 years? It's like a blink in the history
in
of
the
us.
history. So the underworld Silk Road. So this is the above ground Silk Road. Then the underworld or the underground Silk Road comes through the dark web, through the digital era, the internet, and that gives that's the Bitcoin rollout, because that's where Bitcoin starts popping this shit and getting this name up. Yeah, there was a lot of trade routes that were opened up through the Silk Road on the internet. Because we are on this quote unquote digital, we're in a new digital realm. I'd say that this is part of the new dimension. You know what I mean? If this is the 3D dimension, it has everything to do with this cyberspace world that we're in. So we have to navigate this new Silk Road and create new routes through this quote unquote new world that we're in. So it's gonna be, that's part of the mission. That's part of the mission. I'm trying to bring back linen underwear, linen tank tops, linen socks.
Yes. Linen in the spring and summer, wool in the fall and winter.
You feel me? That good cashmere. You know what I mean?
I'm all about that. That's listen.
Tailored too.
That's what I'm on.
Yeah,
And
tailored.
to
Like,
convince some of these these warehouses out there in China to start doing it back the right way, we can. I mean, they have the infrastructure in place. We just have to shift the demand, and it's already
right.
happening with talks of forever chemicals and synthetic fabrics and how it's causing complications and issues. I heard obesity is even linked to polyester. That shit's crazy.
Because polyester is the plastic that skin can't breathe.
That is crazy.
It's no, you're literally putting gasoline, you're putting plastic, you're putting rubber on your body, and your epidermis is getting suffocated. So men that are wearing the polyester boxes are experiencing low sperm count because it's literally it's literally a nut hugger. It's taking no air is coming out. But the flip side of that, if you have boxers that are made out of linen, because remember, you can't switch it up. You can't have the fly crushed linen suit on with the cotton under that. It would cancel it out.
Mm-hmm.
So it got to be all linen, everything. You feel me? You can't mix it up. You can't mix linen and wool. That cancels it out.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's an art, man. And once we master that sacred art, they took away the minute things, God. They took away the little details, but that shit means so much. in the bigger scheme of things. You dig? And the more we travel and the more we move around, the more keys that we pick up, the more mysteries get solved and whatnot, the more cultured man becomes, the more DNA you begin to unlock.
And it starts with what you wear, what you eat, how you think, who you are around. All of these factor in. One isn't going to trump the other. They all play a role. They all matter for sure. For sure.
For sure.
And if you don't want us to be exterminated, because we're already kind of dealing with the alphabet LG, you know, that situation, which could lead to levels of low birth. Add that to polyester, the PSD, Ethica draws, and all that type stuff.
Right.
I was caught up on it 4 years ago. You know, all the athletes.
All that. Right.
You know, let me get a whole pack of these. And then they throw you this buy two, get one free, or, you know, these little weird promos they do. I done got about 50 pair of them damn draws. And then when I realized what they were doing, they all had to go. So now I'm wasting money.
Right.
I'm essentially trying to do what's right to make sure things last and I can sustain myself. But wasting money right now ain't it.
Yeah, that's a no-no.
These polyester t-shirts or these low quality t-shirts, I get me a good quality t-shirt, wash it, let it dry, you know, put it up on a
pre-shrunk. Right.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like it could last longer. Yeah, maybe $40 for a white t-shirt, but I'd rather spend $40 on one white t-shirt that'll last me versus some polyester cotton blend 3-pack.
I get balls, hairy balls on it and all kind of shit. You know?
The hospitals knew the importance of linen. They literally used to have linen on the hospital beds, and they understood that this helped with the recovery of people.
Right. And now the reverse is that's bed rot because they got people laying on polyester and plastic. They getting bed rot. So yeah, so for everybody that's out there with the, I almost got booked. My daughter put me on the Temu. I was in Texas breaking my Bankington. I ran up a bag for like 300 and the hundos in a cart, and then I went to sleep because I got so tired of shopping. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go and get it tomorrow. And I woke up and the shopping cart was empty. And that was like the Chinese gods helping me out, saying, "No, Red Pill,
don't buy this shit.
No, don't buy that shit. No Timo, don't buy that shit. Don't get the Sheen. You was going to get the Sheen polyester jumpsuit. Don't get that shit. No."
And it's in the toys family. It's in your Legos. It's not. It's in a lot of products. It ain't just the clothes. They are attacking us on all levels. Don't be buying your kids none of these Temu Sheen toys. Yes, it may look good, but there's a lot of toxic stuff in these things, man.
Right, mad chemicals
in their mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You feel me?
Matter of fact, I'm about to go back to wood toys. Damn it, because I don't know.
Remember them wood blocks, right? You know I'm about to do my Boy Scout cars and shit because wood cars.
Nice. You know, we going back old school because can you even trust this modern day stuff? It's like the TV shows and the movies nowadays. It's trash. It's like music, all this stuff it don't stick. Like it don't. I don't hold on to it.
It's all Temu.
Fast,
you know?
fast existence.
Fashion Nova. It's Fashion Nova. Goddamn entertainment. You know what I mean? It's motherfucking Temu. It's Temu. It's Temu times and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Shit crazy. Crazy. So we have the opportunity. We are in limbo. We're in a limbo stage right now. We're in the limbo stage. We're in that stage where things are changing, the cocoon era, cocoon stage. It's all good, but it's we have the opportunity to create a new narrative and to create a new frequency, a new look, and we're gonna be able to do that, you know, with our output. So everybody get busy. Let's activate. I'm gonna see y'all on Wednesday. We are going to be on Zoom. I'm doing something with Q Reeves. Y'all heard him. He said it's going down. We're gonna give y'all a date. We're gonna come and smash this shit. High level information, top science and whatnot. You already know what it is. The link for Wednesday is in the description. We will see you then. Thank you everybody for pulling up. All right. Appreciate you, King. You know what I'm saying? This is the first of many times. But yeah, this was a good build. I want everybody to marinate on this. We putting this information and this energy out before the quote unquote the eclipse. So you know, we could make this thing manifest into real life. Because you got to speak it first, then you write it, and then you watch it manifest.
Levels.
Yes, sir.
Well,
let them know where they can find you.
Q Reeves. Q Reeves on YouTube, QReeves.com. That's how y'all can check me. I do regression therapy if anyone interested. Just exploring the different aspects of their mind. That's kind of what I get into, you know.
Yes.
Something.
You do regression readings and stuff, past lives.
Yep. Yep. And attachments. Because I kind of feel like based on the trauma that we've experienced in life, we potentially split ourselves. And that split version of us is another version of us, which I think considered like an attachment. You basically attach yourself with another version of you.
Right.
And version of you that be kicking on and you don't even be knowing it. You don't know
jumping in like double dutch.
Right. Like I had a lady, she had a fear of like flashing lights. She could not figure out what this flashing light phobia was. We found out through her regression at 5 years old, she had an uncle, you know, unappropriately touch her. And that was a part of the flashing, because during that experience, she would focus on this light. And she didn't even know that experience associated to the flashing light, she had to let go of that moment, forgive that uncle, let her know that I'm 40-something years later and I'm still holding on to this. I got to let this go. And the moment she let it go, that phobia went. So there's a lot of stuff like that happening in the mind.
October's around the corner, y'all. We are in the Jason months, the O in the Jason month. We are damn near at the tail end of this thing.
Almost at the end.
Right. And it's been giving what it's supposed to give. It's been feeding us. And we will continue to, you know, report the information and keep people updated as to what's going on and knowing the ledge. And with that being said, we're going to end this with the 44 Tops Facts Remix. All right. Peace, love, and light to the family. We will see you soon. Peace.
Red, blue, purple light, red, blue, purple light, friends, facts, red, blue, purple light, friends, red and blue, purple light, friends, facts. Get to know the ledger, sacrilegious, Sunday to Melanin Monday. You can get to know the ledger, my love. Just open your third eye on Thursday. Lord, the food, the art, the clothes, the Vatican's getting exposed fast. We put the show on the road. You better stay on your toes. I was till the land, focused on the ego. Then I opened my heart, let go of the ego. Grand after grand, we stacking up these C notes. Facts, facts, yeah. We gon' put this shit on our back. Facts, facts. We in your city, pull up where we at. Facts, facts. Peace, love and light. Peace, love to the family. Peace, love and light to the family. Peace, love and light to the family.
These days and time, black man is going to be the time that you have been waiting for. You came here for a reason. Whatever pressure, whatever adversity, whatever the fuck.
Red, blue, purple light, red, blue, purple light, facts. Red, blue, purple light, red, and blue, purple light, facts. You can get to know the ledger, sacrilegious Sunday to Melanin Monday. You can get to know the ledger, my love. Just open your third eye on Thursday. Lord, the food, the art, the clothes, the Vatican's getting exposed fast. We put the show on the road. You better stay on your toes. I was till the land, focused on the ego. Then I opened my heart, let go of the ego. Grand after grand, we stacking up these C notes. Facts, facts, yeah. We gon' put this shit on our backs. Facts, facts. We in your city, pull up where we at. Facts, facts. Peace, love and light. Peace, love to the family. Peace, love and light to the family. Peace, love and light to the family.
These days and time, black man, is going to be the time that you have been waiting for. You came here for a reason. Whatever pressure, whatever adversity, whatever the fuck you feel, I don't know what you feel, but whatever you may be feeling is going to push you, and it's going to provoke you, and it's either going to make you or break you, similar to how pressure busts pipes or the shit makes diamonds.